What's happening? So the question came up of gratitude, all right, because everybody's talking about it, right? Gratitude is, as I've said previously, I think on a number of occasions, and I'm sure I've written it into some stuff too. Gratitude is a very, very powerful emotion. So, but there's the question of clarity on what do we mean by gratitude. Are we thankful and all that sort of thing? Yes, of course. And if you have some spiritual foundation and you're thankful to your God or your spirit or the universe or something like that, that's excellent. That's a good place to be going. Like 99% of highly successful people have some sense of a spiritual life. That doesn't mean they have a higher power or what have you necessarily, but they have some sense that the human spirit is a thing. All right. So I encourage that, and however you want to, work with it. So gratitude to that thing, that spiritual foundation or whatever, is a great place to start. But let's really dig deeper. Who is ultimately responsible for your own life? You, nobody else. And so when you accomplish anything, you should be grateful that you discovered within yourself the ability to accomplish whatever thing it is. Now, I learned a long time ago, and it's been a lot of what's gotten me through a whole number of things, that there are going to be a lot of difficulties and there is going to be a lot of hardship, and that's just part of life. And there are going to be a lot of failures before you get it right, especially when it comes to doing something that's entirely different or mostly different, or in a field that's wrought with senses of failure and that sort of thing. Auditioning 100 times before you get the gig, that kind of stuff, So I learned early on to focus on my victories. I even would do things like I would take one of my albums that got some great critical acclaim and go listen to it when I was down on myself to remind myself that actually I don't suck so bad, And so you can do stuff like that. It is helpful to pay attention to your little victories, And that's where the gratitude journal idea comes from, is focusing on your victories. But be grateful to yourself. And then let me just give you a little perspective, because perspective is hugely valuable. If you have not dirt floors, if you do have running water and electricity, a dish with a little change in it, and some food, even if it's leftover Burger King in your refrigerator, you are literally better off than 60% of the planet. And if you have a little money in the bank and some source of regular income, we're now looking at you being better off than an even larger amount of people on the planet, okay? So taking that stuff for granted is a big mistake. If you've ever been the starving artist, I've been there, when people were bringing me mac and cheese and ramen, I couldn't even afford it myself, then wow, I was literally grateful to have something to add to my ramen, It's like I could afford a can of chicken today. A can of chicken, I couldn't afford an actual chicken. I didn't have a sink big enough to wash my dishes in, and the stove was broke, that kind of stuff. So not forgetting where you come from and how hard you've worked to get here is important too. What if you started in a really great place? I grew up well-to-do. I could compare all the times when I wasn't well-to-do with that. No, that's a mistake. I had the courage to give all that up. I'm grateful that I had that. So again, keep looking for perspective, and if you ever need anything, that's what friends are for and acquaintances. Not the well-meaning ones that tell you, well, I told you shouldn't be a musician or an actor or a writer or an artist. The ones that are always going to tell you the truth. The same ones that say, that picture sucks, and that song is not so good, and you need more training, that kind of thing, all right? So surround yourself and continue to surround yourself with people who are accomplished than you. It's always been my key to having a good band, is putting people who are better than me in the band. They challenge me constantly, all right? There it is. Thanks. Peace.